All right, Shalom. Before I continue with this lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother lawyer, and I teach you Great Millstone National Camp. Come back with a quick lesson, and don't have a title for this lesson as of right now, but basically, it might just be commentary of Job 20 and 8. Commentary from Job 28, and this deals with the rulership of the wicked, which we know that the wicked are the Edomites, and that their place, which they hold as of right now, it won't be found anymore. All right, and we know that they're here to fulfill a certain role, and that once they're done playing once the Lord is done with having them play their role, they're going to be judged for what they've done to the Israelites and then be exterminated. So Job 20, and this is the AI overview. I was actually looking for the commentary, like the Bible Hub or whatever, but this is good enough. So Job AI overview, Job 28 says, King James Version. The phrase, he shall fly away as a dream, is part of Sophar's speech about the swift downfall of the wicked. This powerful image means this is a prophecy. All right. With this, a prophecy is getting ready to happen, because we know that we're at the end of the rulership of the wicked. This powerful image means that the prosperity and apparent success of a wicked person are temporary. So Esau, even the so-called white man, which we know that Israelites are scattered, amongst them, but they're going through similar things that, the rest of the tribesmen is going through. The Israelites, so-called Blessed Latinos, Native Americans, and Hispanics, and the Israelite foreigners, they don't escape those curses either. Now, the thing is, with them looking like the other nations, they might receive some type of benefit from looking like the other nations, but it doesn't matter, because the curse is still going to follow you. The curses of Deuteronomy, 28th chapter. All right. So it says the prosperity and apparent success of a wicked person are temporary, like a dream, and will quickly disappear without a trace, leaving them unfound, and their position vanish like a fleeting nocturnal vision or apparition. So their place of them, ruling, is only for a short time. And that's why you don't envy the wicked. Let me get that. Give me 1 second. I believe this is, this is Sirach 9 or Ecclesiasticus 9 and 11. Envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end. And we know the end of Esau Edom, is ultimately he's going to be destroyed pursuant to the book of Obadiah. He's going to serve captivity, under the Israelites for what they've done to the Israelites, and ultimately after 1,000 years, they're going to be destroyed. The other nations, they're going to be able to, have their lands. And, I'm not going to say that. I ain't going to say that. So we know not to envy him. It makes you mad because you see the prosperity or the wicked, but you have to understand that this is prophecy too. The Esau Edom, his blessing was to have the fatness of the earth. And the other nations, they was going to partake, because they were confederate against us in the pursuant to the book of Psalms. Psalm 73 and 3. Well, let's see. Yeah, Psalm 73:3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. And that's why a lot of our people also call themselves questioning God, because it seems like nothing's happening to them. But you have to understand that it's a balance with the Lord, because they're going to be destroyed for forever. These last decades and what's the other? Well, I'm gonna say that a 1,000 years, because there was the Greeks, the Romans, so they had a good time period to run, and even today, it says that he's not in trouble as other men. Oh, that's what it says right here, verse 5. For they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. So our people see that and be like, well, damn, we envying the wicked because they're not being judged. But what you don't understand is it's a build up. It's a build up to their wickedness. But once they receive their judgment, I mean, that's it. And it's not a light judgment that they're going to go through. So yeah, right now it seems like they're not being punished or, and nothing happening to them. Things are happening to them. It hasn't happened as in a whole to the nation, to the Edomite nation, to the other nations, but it's a build up. And once the judgment is fully set, like what's already set, but once it's playing out, you're going to be like, damn, we glad that we're not these people or we didn't do the things that they do. Because in the kingdom of heaven, that's a wrap for them. Even before the kingdom of heaven, right now, they're going to get effed up. Jacob's trouble's going to happen. The elect going to go through certain things. Of course, the whole nation's going to go through it. But what the elect going to go through and the wicked of our people going to go through are two different things. The Lord is actually just testing and trying, his men. Then of course you got women that believe, and then children, all the ones that are written in the book of life for salvation. They're gonna be tested and tried and proven. The 2/3, they're gonna be dying, paying for past sins, what they done to the Lord on this side, and so on and so forth. But the elect, they're gonna make it out. You're going to have martyrs and all this and that, but, the ones that serve the Lord dying for a purpose. The 2/3 is dying for nothing, but they were given over to that, and we hope that don't happen to us. All right. So it says, verse 6, therefore pride compasses about them as a chain, violence cover them as a garment. And that's their blessing, the sword. What you do with the sword, you commit violence, take land, war, so on and so forth, resources. But their place is not going to be found anymore. Job, going back to the Job 20. Let's see. I'm going to start at 4. Job 24, knowest thou not of this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite before a moment. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach into the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? And that also goes to that Isaiah 14. And really, where is he? Because that's going to happen after they're destroyed. Like, hey, who is this guy? The Edomites, when they're destroyed, they're not. It's going to be records of them, but where's the people at? They're going to be gone. It says of Job 28, he shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. So you might have a vision or dream. You remember bits and pieces of it, but that's it. It says the eye also which shall see him I mean, Salaki, the eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. You know, it says his children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods, and they're going to be restored really in the kingdom of heaven. Because you're not going to get it says his hands shall restore their goods. That's not going to happen on the side via reparations. That's not going to happen. Now his children are seeking to please the poor, you know, in some form of fashion, you know, with I was gonna say with Jake, you know, getting certain jobs, but that's not even it, because the thing is with that, they're not populating like that anymore. That shit started declining years ago. The Israelites were populous. You know, look at the Northern Kingdom, so-called Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, you know, Puerto Ricans. You know, then you got the Southern Kingdom. You know, but in a small form, their children are seeking to please the poor. But you giving Jake gas money or you know, certain court issues that's being handled, that's not enough. The whole nation needs true reparations, which that's going to come via by the way of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, nothing else. Let me go to this Isaiah 14, and I could start at verse 1. For the sake of time, I'm going to get the main points that I want. So Isaiah 14, and I could get 5. I'm going to start at 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continuous stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. It says, yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us with you know, tearing down of the forest, the trees. You know, even the earth is going to be joyful when this man is taken down, because yes, under the earth itself is under oppression. All right, the earth has a spirit. Let's see. So I'm gonna go down, because really this is all talking about Esau, Edom. So Isaiah 14 and 16, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble and that did shake kingdoms? You know, so at that time, you know, in the kingdom of heaven, you know, other nations gonna be looking at, man, is this the guy? Because Slakia, his state, the state that he's gonna be in, you know, it's gonna be like, you know, damn, this guy's low, because the scriptures that, you know, he's known as the basis of men, the lowest of men, the vilest of men. But today, you know, the nations are getting a glimpse of that. But going back 20 years ago, 10 years ago, that wasn't seen. It wasn't seen like that. But when he started putting the grip on the society and the world, you see his true horns, his true colors. That's why it says that he shook kingdoms, dropping bombs, bombing other nations, you know. And then it said, he who smoked the people with a continued stroke, the nations, he ruled the nations in anger. You know, now that also proves that the earth was given unto the hand of the wicked. When you got control over the earth, you know, you're able to govern these other nations, rule over them, and nobody can tell you shit. Because think about it, when America was doing this to other countries, Russia, they might have said this is against what they call it. This is against how do they say it when they at the NATO? Not at the NATO, when they at the summit. This is against this policy. You doing this, you know, this is a war crime. That's all that was said. No actual action was taken against America when they was doing it. No sanctions or nothing, you know. So yeah, when Esau Edom's about to go through what he go through, ain't nobody gonna care. And then the other nations, they're gonna be in captivity too. But Esau Edom, they're gonna go through a different type of captivity. It's gonna be rough. It's going to be really rough, you know? Yeah, it says verse 17, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. And so, and that's him. He don't open the house of prisoners, you know. And America is the most, how is it? How am I going to say it? The most prison country, you know, with the most people that's incarcerated, you know. Because America is a place of punishment for who? The Israelites. He's not in trouble as other people, you know. Edomite would get in trouble for killing somebody. He ain't gonna get 20 years. He might get 5, or if you got that money, he might be able to get away. But the thing is that these curses are falling upon him, like God says in Deuteronomy, I think in the 30th chapter. These curses that was upon the Israelites, now they're upon him. You know. Really, that's all I wanted with that. Let me get this. I think it's Luke 16. Because also Lucifer just means light bearer. You know, don't really mean Satan. So this is Luke 10. Where was this? I'm going to get 18. It says, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. That's not saying, you know, the spiritual entity Satan actually fell from heaven. You know, the whole, he fought against the Lord and all this and that. And no, that's not what this is saying. This word for heaven really goes into rulership. So Satan, this word Satan, when you go into it, it's a man that's like unto Satan. You know, like how it says in Revelation, Satan shall cast some of you into prison. It ain't the actual spirit that's locking niggas up. It's a man, and he's doing that now with Alligator, Alcatraz, and other places. You know, these concentration camps he got built up. It says, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. So Satan, this man that comes like into the works of likes of Satan, he does the works of Satan. You know, he's going to fall from his rulership. And lightning is used as quick, you know, swiftly. Like how it says prosperity. It says prosperity and appearance, it says, of a wicked person are temporary. And then where is it? Oh, right here. It says a swift downfall, right? It's part of Sephar's speech about the swift downfall. So it's quick. You can't see lightning hit the earth. You can see, you know, it happened, but you can't actually see where it touches the earth. You know, it's quick. It's a quick downfall, and it's happening. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. So, Lord will, this is an edifying lesson, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Makakwadash. Shalom.